What's going on tonight? I don't know about you guys. I have been biting at the apple to see this basketball team play today. The Sacramento Kings playing their best basketball of the season, over 48 games. And hey, if you are seeing us for the first time, that's because we are on Twitch now. We are also on Instagram Live. Welcome to the If You Don't Like That. We're going to break down the Kings and the Knicks, get y'all ready for tonight. Hey, go check out Kevin Herter's drip that he wore into the arena tonight. It was pretty darn cool. But hey, I'm Ryan in Sacktown. I'll catch up with you on the other side. This is the Kings pregame show on If You Don't Like That.
2, 1, go.
Sacramento miscue. Carter. Stolen by Williams. And look at this. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball. Fox. Goodbye. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. The exclamation point from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Boy, that's an ESPN highlight right there. Whoa. Carlson comes in. How about this? Holy moly, Jim Bob Bowley. That is a major league smush.
Hey, welcome back in. Ryan in Sacktown with you, getting you ready for the Kings and the New York Knicks. The first time they meet this year. Boy, oh boy, is tonight going to have a playoff atmosphere. This team's had a couple days to marinate, get right, rest up. If you haven't heard, Trey Lyles, that is a big loss. You know, he had we weren't sure if it was an ankle, knee. Turns out it's an MCL sprain. 2 weeks for Trey Lyles. He will be reevaluated. So that's not a guarantee. He will be back in 2 weeks. And remember, the Kings, only a handful of games left to go in the season, or I should say they are coming down to the wire. But tonight is going to be a fun one and a special atmosphere at the G1C, and a matchup of two of the best point guards in the NBA, Jalen Brunson, De'Aaron Fox. Both guys have been on an absolute tear as of late. Keon Ellis. How about Keon, guys? You've had 24, 48 hours to think about it. I talked a little bit about it on the Kings court earlier today. Mike Brown's in a really difficult position with Keon because he's been preaching defense, defense, defense all season. And now you got a guy that's done it for 2 games. He's 6-0 in the starting lineup. You've got a shooting guard that's not playing well, who missed a game because of injury. What do? I know the fan base, much of the fan base is hoping to see Keon maybe slide into that role. I don't think it's going to happen. But regardless of whether he starts or not, let's talk about who's on the floor at the end of the game, because that's what matters the most. And Mike Brown, you guys know how he rolls. He will go with the hot 5 coming into it. Let's talk a little bit about New York. I want to get your comments up here too. You are more than welcome to call the show. We also have a couple of new things that we're doing. We set up a call or a voicemail and text line. So check this out. You guys can leave us Kings voicemails. You guys can text us. You can give us your hot takes. Who knows? Maybe I'll find my next co-host. And we will put those on the show. The ones that we like, you can live text the show as well. Grant and I will be monitoring that. And remember, Jerry Reynolds at halftime. That will be a lot of fun. I'm not going to promise Jerry Reynolds at halftime. I know Jerry had some things coming up, so maybe Jerry Reynolds at halftime, but definitely Grant will be here. And then after the game, it will be Grant and I, and we will open things up to you as we always do. Open phones tonight. I will talk about the Knicks in a second. Let's get to some of your comments. Nye, what up? Blessings indeed. Carf, what it do? Indeed. We just hit on that. Adam, welcome to the party, my friend. Stop, Adam. Stop, dude. Adam, I wish. Not happening. John, what's up, dude? Adam, do you remember how inconsistent this team is? Have we forgot the first 65 games? No? I mean, I'm excited. This is the time a team should peak, right? You want them to peak at the end of the year. And I had Damon Bruce on the Kings court last week, or I guess earlier this week, Thursday. And Damon actually thinks the Kings will have a longer playoff run than the Warriors, which in itself, not super surprising, but the Kings, because of the inconsistency, you didn't know what team's going to show up, and we still don't, but we'll see. What's up, Andrew? Let's see. Fox taking Brunson to school. It's an interesting matchup. Which guy, and I think Keon is going to play a big part into this. Welcome, by the way, to the pregame show on If You Don't Like That. I'm Ryan in Sacktown. Happy to have you with me. Grant Napier joining us at the half, and then we will have post-game coverage for you as well. If you're seeing us for the first time on Twitch or you're seeing us on Instagram, welcome. We are catching up to the times. We have been doing this show for almost 2 seasons now. And welcome to the team. Hope you enjoy the content. I know a lot of people enjoy what we put out, and it's your guys' show. So Fox and Brunson, 2 completely different styles. I want to see who enforces or imposes their will a little bit more. Is it going to be Fox with the speed, or is it going to be Brunson with the precision, with the physicality? I'm looking forward to that matchup. The Kings have to push. They have to push the Knicks out. And they also are going to have to keep Anunoby out the middle of the paint and out of that center area if the Kings run zone defense. You got to watch for that. Nye hopping back in. Yeah, we hope you guys are having a great one too. Hey, did you guys hear about our new sponsor? No? Maybe? Some of you? I'm going to tell you about Pop's Premium Meat Shop in Elk Grove here in a second. They are the newest member of the If You Don't Like That family, and we've got some offers for you. Who? Brunson? Absolutely. Edward hopping in. I agree, but I think he doesn't want to damage Kevin's confidence. Well, let's stop right there. Kevin's already had issues with confidence, and quite frankly, Kevin's issues don't stand out that much more than anybody else's on this team, in my opinion. Everybody has been up and down at some point this year, minus Sabonis. Thank you. I know a bunch of you were like, I'm going to get that dude right now. Oh, he said Sabonis isn't consistent. No, Sabonis is consistent. So when it comes to the confidence, doesn't really get me too worried. What I do worry about is Kevin Huerter started a lot of basketball games for this team. And this is a basketball team that does not go out and run a lot of set plays. So has Keon integrated well the first couple games or the first 6 games in the starting lineup? Sure, he has. Because to me, there is no direct pressure to get Keon Ellis looks early in the game to run sets for him like there would be for Kevin Huerter, regardless of if he's playing well or not, because you got to test the waters to see how he's going to do that night. So anyways, Nye, let's see. Adam hopping back in. My bad. No way, dude. The 4 spot is in play. Adam, no way, dude. Four's not happening. 4's not happening. Edward, I catch you coming off. Let's see. And he really needs his shooting in the long run. Kevin needs, to me, he needs some defense to spark his offense. And he's done that in this season. He's done that many times. Patrick, dude, you're up. What's up? For those that don't know, Patrick is back in New York. You're in Long Island, right, Patrick? Grant from Syosset. That's like that was like one of the first things when we started working together. Where am I from? And because the first time we ever recorded together, my opening question to Grant was about growing up in New York. And I'm pretty sure I said, something like that. I mean, seriously, you can go back and listen to it. I know you guys don't care, but it's really funny. Patrick, happy to have you here. And I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you and all the other Knicks fans. This Knicks team is so much fun to watch. They're super physical. They play defense. They're everything a Tibbs team should be. Julius Randle still not back from the shoulder injury as far as I know. A little bit more time there, but once he comes back, that team's going to be fun. And I think they could actually, I really do think they could make some noise in the East. Zachara, should we expect Dante to get booed tonight? Maybe. maybe. Dante plays a completely different role for this team. For those who don't know who we're talking about, Dante DiVincenzo, ex Sacramento King, ex Golden State Warrior, ex Villanova. I believe we won a championship there, right? But he plays a pretty big role for this Knicks team. They turn to him when it comes to scoring, especially with Randall out. So if there's one guy, like the Conningtons of the world, the White of Boston, those guys, that's kind of that role Dante can play for this team when he is playing well. My bad. What did I do? What did I do? Let's see. Ryan, put my comment up post game when I tell you Fox schooled Brunson. Dude, calling your shot? Perfect. Perfect. I will put it up. The problem is I might not see it. Your guys' comments fly on the post-game show and on the halftime show. So I will do my best. John, did you get to Pop's Market yet, dude? Yes, he did. Good point. Grant has been talking about that on his shows. John is exactly right. So, yeah, Kings-Knicks. If you want to talk about what these teams, what the Kings do well, right? And I think one of the keys that we're not talking about enough is how the Kings offensively have been passing the ball and moving the ball. It's not been stagnant. It's not been 20 seconds of, just sloppiness and then a rush shot by De'Aaron Fox or somebody else. No. When everybody touches the ball, whether they're taking shots or not, that brings a team closer together. I talked about it earlier on the Kings court. It brings them so much closer together. It makes the chemistry go higher. And believe it or not, it makes those little stats. Really, it does. The 50-50 balls, the things Mike Brown talks about, it makes those go through the roof when you have a team doing that. And it's contagious as hell when one guy's doing it. So, hey, what is up, Joseph? The original from Hicksville, which is right next to Syosset. There you go. So, yeah, I learned my geography very, very quick with names. Really, really quick. So, what are your predictions for this game? A guy we haven't talked about, Keegan Murray. He has been quiet offensively. Last game, he had a double-double. Good stuff from Keegan. But I thought it was good, actually, that he sat out that game. I thought that was more of a precaution. Good on the Kings. But what's he going to do tonight? Is there a matchup that favors him? I think there might be, actually. And Harrison Barnes as well. Are they going to do a little bit of high-low? And how much zone are the Kings going to play? And could the Kings blow the top off tonight? We haven't seen the Kings explode offensively in a really long time. And when they're spraying the ball, the way they've sprayed it the last 2 games, they're getting the exact looks that they want to get. So it's winning basketball. I talked about it earlier. I kind of said it's the perfect storm. They want to play physical and precise. So it's like that badass UFC fighter that's got the swag. He's got everything going on outside of the octagon. He's got his head on straight. He stays out of trouble. And by goodness, he's got a right hook like none other. And he's making zillions of dollars. The Kings want that albatross because teams don't usually have those 2 combinations. Usually those are mutually exclusive. So could they do it? They've done it the last 2 games, which makes it really interesting. What's up, Donald? You're guessing we'll see more Len than McGee. I would think so. You might see a combination of them both. I'm not so sure. I'm really not that this is a game that the Kings can do a lot of small ball in. And I think this is the small ball that he's going to want to play because that's been a big part of the last couple games. But part of the Lakers' success was the Lakers are old. LeBron's old. And don't get me wrong, the guy spends $1 million on his body every single year, and he's in amazing shape, but he's old. There's some traction. There's not a lot of traction on those tires. So then Anthony Davis, that's debatable. But you got a team like New York tonight. They're younger. Hartenstein. I can't wait to see Hartenstein and Sabonis play a little bit on each other tonight. I think that's going to be a fun matchup. And guys, don't forget about Josh Hart. Do you remember what Josh Hart did to this team last year? I was very vocal. I wanted Josh Hart to become a Sacramento Kings. I thought the Kings should have made a bigger play for Josh Hart. They did not. All good. But he ended up getting a raise last year, and he plays a big role for them as well. So give me your thoughts on the game. I've set it up for you. Let me know what you want to talk about. Give me your final scores. I want to hear those as well. I think, the Kings, one thing, free throws. We haven't talked about those. We should probably talk about those pretty soon, but free throws have been better the last couple games. Attempts have been a little bit better too. And I think that is a big reason for why the Kings were able to press the pace that they wanted to press the last couple nights. And when they want to play that pace, they absolutely have to go into the deep end with that pace. It can't be the shallow end. It's got to be into the deep end. Hey, I told you guys that we have a new sponsor here on If You Don't Like That. That is Pop's Premium Meat Shop in Elk Grove, located on Bruceville Road. I have been going there for over a year. I didn't want to tell any of you about it, quite frankly. John, yes, you, because that's less meat for me. But they have plenty for you, and they have almost everything you can think of. They have American Wagyu, cuts you've never heard of that taste better than anything you've ever had. And go into Pops right now and tell them you heard about them here on If You Don't Like That. Say Grant, Rhino, Kings, whatever you want to say. They will give you one of their 14 custom made or custom homemade sausages for free. So go check out Pop's Market in Elk Grove on Bruceville Road. And don't forget, they do a ton for the community as well. So go welcome our new family members here on If You Don't Like That. All right, let's get back to your guys' comments. We're getting you ready for the Kings. We're getting you ready for the Knicks. A matchup of two teams that I think, if you said, hey, we're going to have a couples dance, right? And we're going to line up all the Eastern Conference teams on one side, and we're going to line up all the Western Conference teams on the other side. And I want you to match the teams up by what you think the best matchups would be. What do you think the best, which two teams are the most similar? I'm picking the Kings and the Knicks. Now, the Knicks have more 3-and-D guys. Don't get that wrong. The Knicks, to me, are a little bit deeper, and they are much better defensively. But these two teams, I think it is a perfect storm. Perfect storm. It's a great question. I think they're going to be fine. Trey, if we want to be blunt about it, Trey was not playing great basketball before he got hurt. Trey, he had some time here, time there where he was on, but nothing like old Trey Day earlier in the season, hitting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 threes a game. I think because now, if they would have lost Trey while they're still in a funk, and they still could be in a funk, it's only been 2 games that we've seen really good basketball, but if they would have lost Trey before that, I'd be more concerned. I think because the team's playing a little bit faster and with the schedule that's coming up. And by the way, if you guys didn't hear, Isaiah Thomas, yes, your pizza guy, Isaiah Thomas, I absolutely love that man. I know Grant loves that man as well. He signed a contract with the Phoenix Suns. So they are going to give him a shot. And we'll see what he does. And, Phoenix in the standings, we should talk about the standings, by the way, coming into play tonight, because it is bunched up and the Kings do sit in the 6th seed right now. But as I was saying, I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be all right. And we're talking about cooking now. Alberto, you like the hat? Cool. Yeah, Newark's Plumbing. They are good. Carf, You're saying 3 in a row. Okay. 3 in a row. Hey, what's up, Joseph? I'm originally from Hicksville. Oh, we got that one. Okay. That might have doubled up. No problem. Yeah, Patrick knows. Dude, Patrick. No way. None. I'm not saying the Knicks won't win. I'm saying they're not holding the Kings to 93. There's no chance, Patrick. I would take that all day. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Kings? No, I do not. Now that's a great question because I've been covering Stockton a decent amount this year. If you check out my podcast, which is the Kings Court. It's a daily podcast. It's everything you need to know about the Kings. We have some fun in there. There's some Jim Rome stuff because of my affiliations there. And also, we do it short form. So that way you get out in about 10, 15 minutes. If you're only going to try one episode, try the deposition of Ryan in Sacktown. Promise you will like that one. It'll give you a little bit more about my why. So, and that's important for somebody that you're listening to or corresponding with about basketball. Want you to know my why. So getting back to the question, because I do think it is a good one. Let's go back to it. Not the longest winning streak. Sorry, you guys are doing great. Scal, that's what I'm looking for. No, Scal will not come up in my opinion. I can't say enough about Scal, the professionalism that he's shown down there. I mean, he's showing the young guys how to be a pro. I mean, you guys know Scal from when he was here, but he's the dad of that team. And here's the deal. Think about the guys that have come off of that team. Keon Ellis, right? Mason Jones hasn't played really, but look at the impact he's had on the bench with this team. And Mason, my gosh, I've said it. I'm on the record saying it. If you are in the same room as Mason Jones, you're going to meet him at his level. You will. He is that infectious. He's a great dude. He will help them in the locker room. He might not help them on the court, but he will help them in the locker room. And in a way, he'll indirectly help them in the court if he's practicing with the team. But, Colby Jones, he's getting some run down there, Slauson. So Scal's not coming up, but Scal, I think what he's doing in Stockton is way more important than anything Scal could be doing here in Sacramento. And here's the other thing I want to say really quick. Not paid by the Stockton Kings, don't work for the Stockton Kings. But get your butts to Stockton. Stockton has won 19 games this season. Number one, let me give you a handful of reasons. They've won 19 games. G League, they're in the lead for the G League. You can get a great seat for a really, really fair price. And it is so geared towards the kids. My favorite things growing up as a kid, and I grew up at Kings games. I grew up at Sacramento Gold Miners games. I grew up everywhere around sports here in Sacramento. Okay. And my biggest memories were at Modesto A's games. We're at River Cats games where I'm right by the field. And I don't know the player from John, but that player gave me his bat or he gave me his time. Well, it's that kind of atmosphere. So parents, like, if you're not going because of you, because you don't think you're going to recognize the players, there's a bunch of guys that you'll recognize and personalities too. Deuce and Mo are down there all the time. I'm down there occasionally. So get down there, do it. And it's not that part of Stockton. That's the last thing I'm going to say. Not that part of Stockton. You get off I-5, you make one turn, you make two turns, and it's 2 miles off the freeway. And you go right into a parking garage to the arena. So that was my Stockton Kings rant. Lineups are, they have been 100%. They've been completely, you know what he's going to do tonight, Donald. It's going to be the normal rotation. It'll be, I think now it's usually either Davion or Monk, right? How does Keon affect into there? Is it Keon? It's probably Monk, Keon, Davion, probably in my opinion. And then Len, you're going to get some from him. And then you're going to have one guy in the middle. So you might have a Kessler. And Kessler, he's staying ready. Another guy who's getting run in Stockton, by the way. He's staying ready. So when his number gets called, just like many of his other teammates, I have no doubt that he will be ready to go. Yes. Yeah, that is great about Isaiah. What are the Kings' longest winning streak this year? I think it's around between 4 and 6. Don't know off the top of my head. Rob, Kings once. Come on, Rob. There we go. 117, 105. John and Patrick going at it in the chat. Wishful thinking. Not sure what you're saying. Let's see. You know what? I'll be quite frank with you, Zach. The PSF app, we'll hop on there from time to time. I will. I love Sean. I love what they're doing. It was just a little bit too early for me. I can't speak for Grant. It was a little bit too early for me with the technology. And I can't wait. I'm still in conversations with them. We still talk to them. So we'll let you know if that's going to make a return. But remember, we're pumping out way more content. So what you're not getting on that side of things, you are now getting on the Kings Court side of things. You're getting here. So we'll get the content for you. And we've got some fun stuff coming up with some special guests. Edward, what will the foul discrepancy be in favor of the Knicks tonight? Well, it's going to be in favor of the Knicks. If it's in favor of the Kings have probably won the game. If it's significantly in the favor of the Kings, but it'll be in favor of the Knicks. They're a more physical team. The Kings, on nights when the Kings play physical, they only shoot 6 to 8 free throws in a half sometimes. I do not believe should be Kevin Huerter. I've not heard anything to the contrary. My phone has not checked in. You guys, I love how you guys pick each other up down here. Hopefully, matchup won't let us down. Let's hope not, John. Let's see. Oh, you almost got blocked, John. Let's see. Dave and Morgan should do the Sacramento Kings games. Some names. How about Ryan and Sacktown? You want to hear Ryan and Sacktown do a Kings game? No? I don't think so. That's not my style. I like talking with you guys. I like talking with you. What's up, Jay? 118, 110. Tell Kathy I said hello. Hi, Kathy, if you're watching. He's getting his score in. I mean, let's talk Western Conference really quick, and then we will get ready to wrap up. Remember, we will be back at halftime. Grant and I for sure there. I think Jerry's there. I'm sorry, I don't know for sure on that one. But after the game, Grant and me, we will be there. If this is your first time seeing us on Instagram Live, Twitch, welcome. Happy to have you. And we will be here all night for you with coverage of the Kings and the Knicks. And most nights, we've been averaging about 5,000 for post game, but some nights we've had 10, 15, up to 20,000. I expect if the Kings have or win tonight, it will be a big night. I want to end on this, by the way. I want to give a shout out to Kyle Draper. I actually went on the station yesterday and I called him, and you guys know Kyle and I don't always see eye to eye. But I wanted to congratulate him. There was an article that came out about his personal situation, his perseverance, and I thought it was a really cool thing. You guys should go check it out. Very, very cool. Let you learn a little bit more about Kyle. And I mean, that's what it takes to become a personality here in Sacramento, at least for me. Speaking of myself, not saying I'm a personality. Hold on. What I'm saying is the personalities that I listen to, the people when I was a kid that I looked up to, like we're talking about, right? They were in. I needed to know their why. Like if the Kings lost, I knew it stung them too. It wasn't just like Mark Jones where, 5 minutes left in the game. Well, I guess all planes aren't made to be caught. That doesn't go over well with Sacramento. I know that. So, yeah, I think it's important to say that. But anyways, we've been all over the map tonight on the pregame show. I am so happy that you guys joined us. We will be back at halftime. Grant and I will break things down. Hopefully Jerry will be here. And after the game, your calls, we've got the text line. We'll give you the number to that on the post-game show. And we'll have a great time. Kings and the Knicks, a huge game for the Kings as they hold the 6th seed right now in their hands in the Western Conference. They have won 2 in a row. You look at some of the other teams in the West, lost one, won one. Here's what sticks out to me in the group of four. And I call it a group of four because I don't think the Lakers and the Warriors can catch up. I'm looking at their last 10 games. So the Pelicans, Dallas, the Kings, Phoenix, the group of four. I want to see what they've done. And everybody's been 6-4, 5-5. So who's going to make that run? Who's going to make that run? The Kings feel like they are about to scratch the surface, and they found a recipe for success at home last game. You want to know what it was? It was turning defense into offense because it indirectly gets the crowd involved. It gets the crowd to build up. And before you know it, you got guys going on their podcast saying Sacramento's an effing nuts to play in. What was it? Patrick Beverly just released that. So anyways, and I'm paraphrasing. So we will see you at the half. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great first half. Go